afternoon and welcome to our Facebook Live broadcast today. My name is Cindy Speaker and I have with me today David Daggett. David Daggett is, among other things, he's an attorney, he's an Ironman triathlete, and he's also a co-founder, one of the founders of the Safe Sober Prom Night program. So we're going to talk with David about this amazing program that impacts high school students throughout both North and South Carolina. So David, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Cindy. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Well, you're into busy season right now. Tell us a little bit about this program.
Well, we're getting ready to start up our 27th year of the Safe Sober Prom Night program, which is basically founded on very simple principle of getting students to sign a pledge card, promising not to drink or use drugs on prom night, and in return, they get a free t-shirt. It's simple as that.
Okay. Tell us about the t-shirt. What kind of t-shirt do they get?
Well, we have a t-shirt design contest. So it's a student designed t-shirt, very colorful. It's going to be very popular this year. You can actually see photos of it here on the Facebook page, and the photos are starting to float around the internet. We actually had the mayor of the city of Winston-Salem there to help us with the classroom surprise. So that was a whole lot of fun.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so the students are actually designing these t-shirts.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fundamental part of the project, because what we want to do is engage the students.
Yes.
Let them own this.
Yes.
One of the real anchors of the program is what I call positive peer pressure.
Yeah.
And the positive peer pressure is the students actually put on the shirts and wear them with pride. And that's a little more powerful when the students have designed them instead of sending them off to some ad agency or a corporate designer or something like that.
Absolutely. That makes a huge difference.
Sure.
And then now tell me about this pledge, because I hear about the Safe Sober Prom Night pledge. How many students have signed that? How do you go about getting that kind of, how do you motivate the kids?
So we personally go to close to 50 high schools in 10 counties. And we deploy teams from our office and some volunteers, and it's one student at a time, very, very fast, but one at a time. And over the years, we've now gone over 500,000 students who've signed that pledge.
Wow.
So in 27 years, you got to remember. So some of those kids were 18 when they signed the pledge the first year. We now have grandkids of those first pledge signers making their way into high school. So
that's amazing.
That's pretty exciting. Yes.
Well, the other thing is that means you're getting old, David.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah. Well, it's a phenomenal program. Now, I've seen you in action, and you are a very passionate person, and I know you really have a heart for these high school kids. Tell me a little bit about how you impact high school kids, and because I've found over the years, some of the things I've seen, these kids are gravitating to you personally a lot of the time.
Well, first of all, you have to have a true, genuine, authentic passion for the young people. Young people today, I think they're some of the best, the brightest, the most talented generation we've ever had. One thing about them, and I warn people who want to go out and do, quote, marketing stunts in schools and that sort of thing. Students see through as to whether or not you're genuine and authentic very, very quickly. And they don't like fakes or phonies. They just don't like it.
Yeah, it's all about authenticity.
It's all about authenticity. Now, the one thing that I've been able to do, and you said this briefly in the introduction, is I've been able to weave in my athletic accomplishments and all my Ironman finishes and those sort of things, Ironman World Championship finishes, and engage the students in a way that's pretty powerful. So sometimes that's a one-on-one, sometimes that's a single classroom, sometimes that's an auditorium up to 2,000 students at a time, and it's an ongoing passion, and The students relate to stories, and I guess we all do. And I've got some good Iron Man stories, both on the
Yeah.
positive side and on the negative side,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they enjoy hearing them, and then relate that to where they are at their stage in life. I
Yeah.
one of the lessons I always leave them with, because a lot of kids have a lot of struggles.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have a lot of struggles today.
I think more so now than when we were growing up.
I, I I don't know if it's more so or I'm more aware of it, but either
Yeah.
way, there's a lot of struggles. And one thing that seems to relate to them is telling some of the stories about how I've had rough days,
Yeah.
and but if you know where you're going, you keep your eye on the goal, you keep putting one foot in front of the other, making
Yeah.
progress. Start from where you are, not where you want to be, where you are, and let's move forward to where we want to be.
Yeah.
And everybody can relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to mention something because I believe I read this weekend that you were just in the in a port at the Puerto Rican, was it in Puerto Rico, a Ironman finish, and I believe you
Yes,
did
yes,
extremely well.
yes.
I think you came in first.
Yes, I had a good day.
Okay. That's a real good day. It's a real
Yeah,
good day.
yeah.
Um, let me ask you a couple of things. Now,
You called me
I
you called me an old man earlier.
well, you are.
The old man is fired up every now and then still.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. And keep in mind, I'm a couple years older than you, so
Close.
I can't say too much.
Sisters.
Um, yeah, one of the things that I've seen is because of your passion and love of these high school kids and impacting young people, there's kind of been some offshoots in what you do relative to high school students. Some of it is very closely tied to Safe Sober Prom Night, but talk a little bit about some of the things the other things that you do with young people.
How long are we on here today? Now,
As long as you want.
I've worked with young people in lots of different areas at church camps, those sort of things. But I've also been pretty passionately involved in organizations like Big Brothers Big Sisters,
Yeah.
which I think is a wonderful organization and has a real impact on the positive future in our communities.
Yeah.
This weekend, I'm doing an event with the Down Syndrome Association.
Oh,
So Saturday morning at 9 o'clock out at the fairgrounds, fabulous event. One of the more rewarding things that I do. My favorite cousin, who passed away a couple years ago, had Down syndrome. So have a
oh,
real passion, for
yeah.
that community. So
Yeah.
get involved in that way. And then, I've been known to stop them going down the street and talk, ask them what their grades are, and just stay in touch. So I also bomb my kids' classrooms every now and then. So they sometimes appreciate that, sometimes don't.
We should
So
be restored in a minute. Okay, you just came back on. We had a little glitch there.
I think
Um,
I was still on. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it was still going. I had a little glitch there for a minute. I want to ask you about something else. Here's the thing, David, and I've known you for a long time, and I know I say that often. I'm proud to know you. I really am. One of the things that I say is the way that you live your life, you are truly a role model to these young people. And it's really exciting. What I love hearing about your work. I love hearing about the impact. One of the programs that you do in the high schools that I think is fantastic is the Choose Success, when you do the Choose Success toss. Can you just talk a little bit about those points that you make in
Sure,
a
sure. And I've literally spoken hundreds of times to thousands and thousands of students. Uh, Catherine's here. I think it's a week after next. I have 6 assemblies in 2 days that I'll be doing. But it's basically, and I've repeated the message many times: dream big, no excuses, and never ever give up.
yeah.
And if you do that, life will be very good to you and take you a very long ways.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Uh, on a more somber note, one of the reasons I think you do this program is it definitely and unfortunately relates to what you do during the day, and that is you're an attorney, you're a personal injury attorney. Talk a
Sure.
little bit about that and kind of the link between the two.
Sure. We've seen lives shattered by one poor decision. And what tends to happen with you, with me, with everybody, you see these instances in the news, and it's someone else far, far away. Well,
Yeah.
but that's a real thing. It's a real tragedy for those people. And I've held hands and cried with people whose
Yeah.
lives have just been shattered by one poor choice. And it doesn't just affect that person; it affects that person's parents or siblings or grandparents and friends and classmates and teachers. The whole family tree, the whole community suffers.
Yeah.
And in a life either cut short or that you have permanent consequences, whether that be a criminal record or severe injuries or what have you, from one poor choice.
Right.
We try to make an impression that we have to be smart. In fact, I had a young man in my office just yesterday, talking with him, and we had to talk about what I call the death trap. And in good kids sometimes get caught in the death trap in that they get in an uncomfortable situation. Maybe the person they rode with has been drinking, or maybe the temptation gets too great,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, that at some place, somewhere, sometime, we're all going to face it. I've been there, you've been there, we're all going to
Yeah.
face that death trap. The important thing is to make your decision now. What am I going to do when I'm faced with that situation? And
Yeah.
what's my plan to get out of it?
Yeah.
Because if you
Yeah.
have a plan in advance, you can handle the pressure of the death trap. If you don't have a plan and you haven't thought it out in advance, the pressure of the moment can be overwhelming, which can lead to a bad choice, which can lead to a disastrous consequence.
Yeah.
So,
David, are you available to speak to, do you speak to groups along these lines with this kind of information?
Absolutely. I always say I'll go any place, anywhere, anytime, and speak to young people and do
Yeah.
a lot of it. And
Yeah. And
I've spoken. I did it yesterday. One young man in my office, up to 2,000 people in an auditorium,
yeah.
and anything in between. But absolutely, it's an ongoing passion that
Yeah.
it's been burning for more than 27 years. I assume it'll keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. And how would someone reach you to sign up to have you come to their group?
Yeah, sure. They can call us, and we can put our number out there. SafeSober.com website, DaggettSchuler.law.com website, or IronmanLawyer.com website. So,
Yeah. Give us that phone number, though. Give us that phone number.
336-724-1234.
Good. Good.
So, yeah, absolutely. Always available. Love doing it.
Yeah.
As much notice as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're a busy guy.
I've spoken at high school baccalaureate services, which I really enjoy. I just got an invite to another one of those this week. And,
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's good. Proud of our
Well,
young people today. What we all need to do is wrap our arms of encouragement and support around them. It makes all of our futures better.
yes, I agree. I agree. Well, congratulations on your Safe Sober Prom Night program. I think it's an amazing program. And I know you're hot and heavy, so you're probably on to your next thing. But thanks for taking a minute to talk with us today.
Thanks, Cindy. Great seeing you. Bye.
Okay, until next time, everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you again soon. Go out and have a great rest of your day.